Hey, good evening, keepers of the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and I have a special guest with me today, and I have Ken Wheaton, and we're going to give everyone a few minutes to pop in, and I'll let you know what we're going to do. We are here to talk about the Micronauts. Micronauts is something Ken introduced me to.
Yes.
I met him at Rhino's Comics and Collectibles. I was a big Rom fan, and and then Rom turned into other toy collecting comics from that era. And then Ken was like, well, if you haven't read Micronauts, you should really give that a try.
You need to read it.
But it was 59 issues. I'm like, oh, do I want to get into another long series?
And he's still reading it.
And I'm still reading it. But the series is cheap and it's good, and it's a steal at whatever
It
you
is
get
a
it
very affordable purchase if you want to read a run of something. It's actually
It
easier to find than ROM, actually, believe it or not.
Yeah, which is nuts. Yeah, and I couldn't believe how easily I found ROM, and then Micronauts took me less than a week to put together.
Yeah, it's easy. And they're underpriced and undervalued.
Hey, Slotted Up. Hey, DJ, how you guys doing? We're going to give it a few minutes here, gentlemen, for oh, there, he's DJ saying hi. He's another one on there. Cool. We're going to give it a few minutes, let a few more people pop in. Then Ken and I are going to do our top 10 Micronauts covers. We're going to start out with 2 honorable mentions. Ken's brought some original art with him, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
And we have a special guest, too, and some other stuff. Cool stuff to show.
Well, yeah, we got a book big enough to club a baby seal with, so baby seals better watch out. All right, let's see. Oh, where's Jimmy, Jason? Looks like Lennon already left the building. All right, so let's see.
We can get started.
All right, we'll do that. All right, so why don't you pop on with your honorable mention first?
Okay. I got 2.
I got my 2 here.
So an honorable mention, my first one, is the first Micronauts comic that I read.
Okay.
And it's sentimental to me, and it's kind of a cool cover. It's by Bob Layton.
Oh, nice.
And there's Argon, and he's up to no good, acting crazy. What's he up to? What's going on? So I had played with the toys as a kid, and I had seen this, and I don't know why I didn't really notice that there were Micronauts comics before.
Hey,
this.
Chip.
Hey, but anyway, so I saw it on the spinner rack at the drugstore, and I bought it. And interesting story, finding out that Bob Layton had drawn it later on, about 5 years ago. I ran into him at a restaurant and started talking to him at his table. And I was with my dinner companion. He was talking about suits with his tailor. And he has a special tailor that he gets all those nice new suits from with his Iron Man movie money.
Right.
And so he was, we talked for like 20 minutes, and we're telling the waitress and the waiters and all that, okay, we're gonna sit down. And so we finally got to my companion and I got to our table, and the waiter comes over and he brings a wine list. He said, Mr. Layton would like to buy you 2 a bottle of wine.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So he suggests this, or this. I'm like, well, I don't know, whatever. And we got a great bottle of wine, and I had my guy research it later when I got home, and he's like, yeah, that was a $125 bottle of wine he bought you.
Woo.
So, hey, good thing for Iron Man money.
Right? Holy cow.
But, yeah, so that's my sentimental favorite, my first Micronauts book that I ever read.
Hey, Thorson. Hey, Ruby. Nice. All right. So the one I'm going to show, I don't have a story with mine. I got it.
I got too many stories.
All right. This is issue 27, and this is a Pat Broderick cover. And just a lot of dynamic with the red, and you have Baron Karza and Commander Ron. Is it Ron or Rand? Commander Rand fighting. So he's the leader of the Micronauts right here. This is the bad guy, and it's just a nice dynamic cover with them in battle. And if you read the series, which goes for 59 issues and 2 annuals, and a 4-issue miniseries with the X-Men, you'll see these guys battle quite a bit.
I got another one.
And DJ, stick around. Ken's got a super cool toy to show you.
Honorable mention. This is my honorable mention number 2. So I was such a fan after, let's see, starting with issue 34, and I was getting the back issues. So when I was in the 40s, I was such a fan, I wrote a fan letter to Bill Mantlo, the writer.
And this is issue 38. They started with the double covers.
47. 38, but then
Right.
This is 47. So I'll show you this here. Kind of cool. But what's cool about this is I sent this copy to Bill Manilow with a fan letter and a poorly drawn drawing a bug, and it was embarrassing. But he sent this back to me signed. If you can see it, it says peace. Dear Ken, peace. Bill Manilow, 1982. So, and he's not signing because he was
Right,
unfortunately
accident.
in a bad accident and is disabled and not signing, but got
Now,
that's
a big
cherished.
question here that we always ask everyone. So, is your girlfriend into this stuff at all, or does she could care less about the comics?
She could care less about the comics, but she's not. She's okay with it.
Yeah. No,
I don't
she's
have
supportive, but she doesn't.
I don't
she's
have
like she's like Santino here.
I don't have to hide my purchase money.
Right. Well, neither do I. Yeah, it's good.
Got some guys at the comic shop. They're like, now pay with half of this cash, and half of this is going on the card.
Right.
And,
all right, let's see what my second one here is. All right. And this is Butch, it's Geese, right?
Geis.
Geese. All right. And I
Like
thought
nice.
this was
Butch Geis is nice.
there you go. That I'll remember that now. So this is a great cover because this is one of the few times you see a courier out of his
I don't think
outfit
it's on mine.
and he's fighting Cilicia. This is a woman he loves. She branded him a coward, although he's not. So he was wrongfully accused, and he's having to fight for his honor against the woman he loves. And in this issue, there's a surprise, and we're not going to give it away because you should read it.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to start your top 10 covers?
Yeah. Well, my favorite.
That was the warm up. Those are the honorable mentions.
So my favorite. Now these aren't in order of
No, do
What?
I, DJ?
what? What's he
Oh,
saying?
because that's his slogan.
Okay.
Stick around. He says every time he says that, I owe 15 cents.
Oh, wow.
I'll send you some books, DJ.
So these aren't in any order. I can't pick my favorite,
I'm the same way.
but they're lower to higher. So obviously, I'm going to start off with just an amazing cover. The first cover ever, done by Dave Cockrum and I believe Al Milgram, and
Who were doing a lot of covers back then. And
Yeah.
Milgram was inking a lot of those covers.
signed by Michael Golden as well.
Oh, you got to throw that in my face, huh?
I do.
Well-
I know Michael Golden. He's a good guy.
So all night, Ken's just going to be one up me
I'm going
because
to be
he knows
one-upping,
everybody.
One-upping.
It doesn't take a lot. I don't have a lot going on for me.
But Michael drew a cover for it, and we'll show you that after. But he drew a cover, and they didn't like it. They didn't think it was dynamic enough. I thought it was great,
Wow.
but he drew a cover, which is in a book we're going to show you. But did Dave Cockrum do that?
This one, no, Butch Geis. And I like this cover because this was cool, and I left this one unsealed because this is also
What, this one? You got that one? That one?
yeah.
Okay, well, that's one.
All right, so there we go. And I just thought this was a great cover. There's a reason why they look like 80s gangsters in this.
30s gangsters?
30s gangsters. Yes, thank you. And then you got Bug in jail in the back. And the great thing about this too, Marionette's a great character. Probably my favorite. Her, Bug, and Acquire. Those are my top 3.
Yep.
And issue by issue, you can pick which one you like
So, yeah,
more.
so that's one of mine. So I'm going to get that out of the way too. So I guess I'm not showing them in order, but I'm sort of.
Well, if you're doing that, then I guess I had picked number 1 as one of mine too. So we got 2 out of the way already.
Okay, all
of
right.
each
So
other's.
this won't be boring and long. Okay.
All right.
All right, I'm next.
Lead
Okay.
off.
All right. I love this one. Let's
Hey,
see.
Remy, how you doing, sir?
I love this one because it's got them all being surrounded. I love those surrounded against the odds covers. It's a motif that's in a lot of covers you see, but I like it. I like it a lot. So
I like that cover as well. I can't remember if it's in there or not.
I'm in there.
And just so you guys know ahead of time, we didn't tell each other what our favorite
No,
color
that's why
were.
there's repetition.
We had we wanted to be surprised to see how our tastes differed and how they were the same. So Jason, who you know, Jesse has an Avengers Annual 10 signed by Michael, with a sketch on it by Michael Golden. Overall, it's great.
On it, but
His is great. Jason, you'll have to send me a pic of it so I can share it with Ken. All right, so that was yours.
that was mine.
All right, clean up your mess.
All right.
All right, my next cover is an Ed Hannigan cover.
Okay.
And I like
it's
this.
a wraparound.
I like this because it was very Gulliver's Travels to me.
His wife made cookies, so
She did. My wife is good at everything she does, but she's best at picking out husbands. So just so you guys know, she's amazing at picking out a good man. All right, go ahead.
All right. I'm not going in order then.
It's okay.
This one's like my last
We're already off the rails.
This one's like my last one. So we have surrounded against the odds, and this one is also a variation, surrounded against the odds, but they're on all the covers there. So they're on Earth, surrounded. I believe it is also a Croyer's race. So it's the same sort of. It's
the Spartax.
It's a callback cover, but it's great. Oh, whoa!
It takes getting used to.
So yeah, love those.
Now
Michael Golden is great doing covers that are very busy, but
right
there's quite a.
But you can tell what's going on
to it. Absolutely.
And the thing is in the Micronauts comics, they're in a microspace. And when they pass through that and they come to Earth, someone spots them. There's toys made of them, and then it's like a meta thing where they visit Earth and there's some kid playing with a toy of that person. All right, so speaking of Michael Golden,
that almost made my list.
I like this cover because it's just a good splash of all our heroes. All right, so you got Commander Rand, you got Bug, Marionette, Microtron. Oh, I forgot her name already.
Oh, you know what? You should.
I know, a Croyer.
You should, because
Devil.
She ruins it.
I didn't mind her, but
actually, she was so hated by the fans at the time. Everyone wanted her, like, knock her off, destroy her, have her die, please.
She didn't bother me.
She bothered me.
I'm not a hater, though.
You're not a hater. You hate no one.
Here you go. Well, there's a sketch, the Michael Golden sketch. Jason just sent it to me.
I've seen this. Man, I've seen that. Yep. That's always his.
Yeah, he bought it for his wife.
It's funny, I've seen it already, and he bought it for his wife?
Yeah.
How's that work?
Hey, they buy each other good books all the time. He could show you some of the hotness she's bought him. It's pretty good. Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead, lead us.
My turn. Okay.
You're slacking, man.
All right. Oh, classic. This is probably one of the most classic Michael Golden covers.
I almost picked that one.
It's got Argon and Karza in battle, and it's got Commander Rand, who's become one with the Enigma Force, I should say. And he's got some time travelers there, and it's just a classic, iconic. It's probably one of the holy grails of original art collectors. I don't know who has. Oh, I know someone has the whole. Someone, a Michael Golden fan, has the whole issue.
Wow.
I don't know if they own the cover, but I know they own every page from it. So must be nice.
Hey, Immortal Biggie Shack, how you doing, man? All right, let's see. So now I'm gonna go with another Golden cover, or not Golden, Pat Broderick, I mean. And this one's great because Croyer's a fighter on the team. He's just amazing. He's a Spartak warrior. This is him just taking on the legions, kicking ass, and he's got his special armor on.
Nightmare, right?
Yep, Nightmare. That's another reason I picked the cover. I love Nightmare.
Nightmare from Doctor Strange, right?
Correct.
And Doc Samson's in it too, isn't he?
Yep, Hulk's Doc Samson.
Yeah.
So just a great issue, a great read. And like Ken was saying, guys, you can put the Micronauts series together cheap.
Okay. Keeping with that, I'm going to show you the issue before that.
Oh.
And it's also a Crier kicking behind. And he's handing it to Baron Karza. It's Ran, doomed, Karza defeated, the planet Spartak destroyed. Be there. But what this was, I think this was my favorite Pat Broderick cover because he didn't start doing covers until issue 25, which is what you have in your hands.
Correct. And for those of you who don't know, so Jimmy from Small Town Collectibles, Jason from Slot Up 503, and me, all our logos have been done by Ken. All right. And all those sketch covers, the one you saw with Jimmy as Superman, Slotted Up, Jason as Batman, and the Wonder Woman cover I have were all commissions from Ken.
So, yeah.
All right. So now, like I told you, I had a lot of Pat Broderick.
I can't really toot my own horn. So, thank you.
So,
yeah. So, contact him and I'll do you a commission. That's about all.
I've already got more commissions lined up. I got a blank Black Cat. I got a blank Avengers. He's got a bunch of blank crossover books that he could do anything on those crossovers. Just think, DJ, he could draw Hulk battling anyone of your choice on that crossover cover.
There you go.
And what's this? Do either of you still have any of the Micronauts toys? Well, let's take a break.
I brought a guest.
Funny you should mention that. So this is Ken's. So this is Biotron.
You could hold your comic.
And then we'll get back to the comics.
You could hold your
right.
Well, I'll give him a napkin, but he's got gripping hands, and so yeah. So this is actually one of the original. This was not an original Japanese toy, but it is a reissue, 25th anniversary reissue of the Microman toy.
Hulk versus Jimmy Don.
All right, and that's kind of because I couldn't afford the original.
Right, and then batteries went in it. And what's this thing on the back do, Ken?
Well, we're two treads. One's broken off, but they you put batteries in it, and the treads go, and you can disassemble them and put them in all different configurations and make him into a ship and a thing. And he's got like a place where he holds a Micronaut.
And where was this toy from?
It was from Japan.
All right, so we got the original Japanese instructions.
Check out this cool artwork on the back.
And then just this cool artwork that came with it.
It's awesome.
I'm going to figure out this lefty-righty thing on these live streams at some point. So just really cool stuff.
Yeah. So there he is.
And that's not the only kind of cool toy. Ken's got some cool toys as well.
Too many.
All right, so my next cover was, again, Pat Broderick. All right, and I just like this. You got two of my favorites on here. You got Bug, you got Marionette, and they're fighting Deathbird. And I like this. There's their ship, the Endeavor, back here. And I just like this. I like a good space battle scene, and this is a good space battle scene. All right, what you got next, Ken?
I'm running out of books.
That's okay.
What we got okay. All the rest of mine are. I'm a shameless Michael Golden fan. Okay. It's one of my favorites. It's a fun one. It's Ant-Man.
Oh, I almost chose that one too.
Ant-Man, let's see. Ant-Man, and they're in the cereal aisle of the grocery store. And on Earth. And what's he saying? Funny, I could have sworn I heard someone call for help. And there's some grape nuts down below there. And
it's funny because if they're actually in the microverse, he would be a giant to them.
Yeah. So they're
subatomic when they're in their actual size.
So the funny thing, there's a funny pun in here when they're in the grocery aisle, and there's one of the characters. There's a toilet paper roll coming at them, and they're like, "Great Scott!"
Oh, nice.
Anyway,
Star Trek. All right, so my next one is
Scott toilet paper.
Oh. When we say Great Scott, I think of the old Star Trek.
Yes.
So this is Gil Kane.
Mm-hmm.
And again, so you got my three favorite Micronauts on this cover. You, of course, got Marionette leading the way. You got a Croyer in his armor.
Yeah, he drew.
And you got Bug.
He drew. Gil Kane drew a bunch of issues when they went to direct only. With 38, it was only available. It was the bold experiment where Micronauts, Moon Knight, and Kazar which were actually my favorite three comic books at the time. And what they said was, "Oh, these are fan favorites. These are discernible readers like these, and they haven't caught on with the general readership across America, but these are special books and really discerning readers like these." I'm like, wow, they're my three favorite. I have good taste.
He bought into it.
This was like 12-year-old Ken was like, "Oh, this is great," and I was so worried because I had to get them at because some of my comics I got at the drugstore, and so we had this shop, Empire Comics in Rochester.
I remember them.
It's legendary, but I was real worried about getting them, so I had to really hustle and get to the comic shop more often. So that was actually their plan worked. They got everyone in the comic shops that wanted those issues.
Nice. All right, and Thorson, he had a good little statement here. I think I have some Micronaut stories that were printed as backup in some UK Transformers books. Because over there, they combine a lot. Like you get Avengers and Conan together. He's got a bunch of those.
And
he's from Austria,
okay.
Thorson.
And it's funny because the Micronauts came from the Takara Microman Japanese toys in the early 70s. So they kind of licensed, was it Mego, licensed from them, and they did sort of reissued. The first two lines of Micronauts were kind of reissues of the Microman toys, the Japanese toys.
Right.
So they're very similar. And when you get the third wave of the Micronauts toys, there's some newer stuff that they came up with originally, but those are hard to find. So.
And DJ, I got a review up of that miniseries. It was pretty good. I just read it last week.
Oh, the X-Men.
The X-Men Micronauts. A really dark story, but it's really good.
Yeah, and you read it before it was sequentially of what.
No, I read it. It was
okay.
After what I had read. So,
gotcha.
Yep. So I thought it was so
good cover.
So this is a Michael Golden cover, and this was actually the final cover of the first series, and it's just a good group shot. So you got them all in there, and wow, the glare is just horrible, but.
It's funny how Michael Golden, who created the look, Michael designed the look of the characters. But if you could bring that back for a second,
go ahead.
It's funny because, like Michael Golden designed these characters, so he could like just draw them, but he actually drew them because you've got a Croyer's helmet, wings, I guess you'd call them, were changed by the artist that was doing the book. I think it was Butch Geis, altered the look of Bug, and they gave Commander Ran a beard, and they put the different costuming details on it. So it's funny because Michael Golden actually took the time to put those subtle little changes in, even though he kind of could have drawn them the way he wanted to.
Right.
But, it's a Michael Golden love fest. Actually, some amazing artists that have worked on the Micronauts. Michael Golden, Al Milgram inked him, Joe Rubenstein, Howard Chaykin, who doesn't get a lot of credit, but he drew issues 13 through 18.
What about Fantastic. Joe Rosen? Did he do any of that? Because he was all over the books back then too. As Joe Rosen did a lot of lettering.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I don't know who the letters. It's been a while, but Pat Broderick, of course, drew issue 19 through 34 or 35, and then there were a bunch of guest artists. And they were looking for an artist, and then they chose Gil Kane, who drew a decent run, and then Butch Geis, I believe, started with issue 47 or 48.
And some of these people worked on one of my favorite characters, Conan.
Yeah,
Gil Kane did some great Conan.
Kelly Jones inked Butch Geis, who also became famous later for Batman. A lot of great artists that worked on Micronauts.
How many you got left over there?
A couple. I got two, and then a best of show, which is I have a feeling.
So I got two. Okay, so we're gonna go. This might be my favorite. No, it's not. It's my second favorite cover. It's almost tied with my favorite. This is Marionette and Bug and Commander Rand. And what Marvel series doesn't have a big albino snow bear in it? All right, because these turn up everywhere, it seems, in the Marvel universe. But the covers are always kick ass. They always look great.
Who drew that? Was that Pat Broderick?
This I believe.
I think
Yes,
it may have
Pat
been.
Broderick.
And it's funny, the issue before it, Frank Miller drew. Frank Miller drew the issue cover. The cover
nice.
before that, I believe. Yeah, 31, I believe. I'm trying to remember this from.
And it's odd because Frank Miller pops up all over.
I'm trying to remember
covers.
this from having like not seen some of these for 30 years, but you can tell how much I was into it and enjoyed it over the years. All right, so I got two more. Well, how do we end up? I guess I jumped in. Here was one, another Michael Golden cover. But actually, I can show these two together because they're kind of similar in theme, and they're issue 21 and 24. But they're this one's where they're peeling back. They're all there, and they're peeling back the page of the cover, and the microverse is coming out at you. And it's starting this issue, Tales from the Microverse. I just love that cover. That's just amazing. Oh, there's Biotron.
And they were doing a lot of those supplemental stories in them because at the same time, didn't Rom have Tales of the Space Knights going in the back of his book?
Yeah, and they had an extended time on Earth, and they were stuck on Earth, and so they had tales of what was going on back home.
Nice.
With Shaitan and Cilicia, or Shaitan and Karza and Argon.
And on Spartak.
Yeah, and then this one, it's kind of cool. They're battling a living computer. And here's here's Shaitan cutting his way through with his sword, and it's another Tales of the Microverse. So I kind of thought that was cool. You see the old computer with the reel-to-reel tape, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it takes itself.
Computrex commands.
All right, so
best of show. Okay, let's show it together.
All right,
best of show.
We both were going to have it.
We knew. It's kind of a.
So Micronauts 7 with the Man-Thing cover, just classic, and Michael Golden, of course.
Yeah, so Michael Golden, but you see the funny signature there. Let me see if I can get it here.
Yeah, right here.
I'm trying to. Oh, right there. Whoa. All right, it's a G and an A, and that stands for Neil Adams. So Neil Adams inked this.
Well, he inked it, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know why, but they've collaborated a few times over the years, Neil Adams and Michael Golden. Michael inked some pages for Neil's Batman Odyssey book and some other pages of other things that I believe they both worked for Continuity as well back in the 90s.
Nice.
And yeah, good stuff. So yeah. And Neil's daughter Zia is coloring my latest project. So hey Zia, shout out.
Right?
Why not?
And then of course we're going to show this one more time for because I think Sith Lordley might get a kick out of this. So this is an original from Japan. He just lost his arm. There we go, back on. But just really cool stuff. I can just imagine the space adventures Ken would have with this.
I got this as an adult because I was like, I came into a little bit of money a few years ago, and I was having a depressing time in my life, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna buy it because I want it. I always wanted one.
It's awesome. Why would you not buy it?
It's awesome. Yeah.
All right, so now we got a giant ass book.
So it's the Michael Golden Artist Edition of Micronauts.
So why don't you explain to them real quick what this actually has inside it, and I'll get to the first page.
So it's an artifact edition. It has scans of a lot of the original covers and pages from the production artwork that was used for the Micronauts. So it's you see, that's actually yep. So that's actually colored. That was
let me get up so I can show this better.
That was actually a issue 8 splash page, and if you look at the next one, they were meant to go together. I believe it's the next one or the one before it. Might have been the one before it. Yeah. So flip back a page.
All right, come on, fingers.
Waiting on you, Gary.
I know, right?
Tight editing. So yeah, this was that, and they were supposed to be a splash page, but this has ended up being the first page. But if you look at that and this, they fit together as a splash. So they were meant to be page 2 and 3, but they said, well, let's not do that. Why would we want to make it great? So that's actually hand colored by Pat Olaf, who is an artist who worked on Untold Tales of Spider-Man and a lot of stuff back in the day. Very talented artist in his own right.
All right, tell us about this right here.
All right, so like this would be an original page, scanned from one of the original pages. You see all of the notes up here. The production notes, the issue and the number and the artist and whatever, and the page numbers and any margin notes that they make. Like I can't read them here on upside down and backwards, but any notes that they had on the production of color or it says here add stars. So they probably put in a bunch of whiteout stars. So stuff like that. It's cool to look at
editorial
original
notes too, huh?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and we just picked some selected some good
random
stuff.
Cool stuff. Now these were these color bits were overlays on clear acetate, which were meant to be clear color, bits of color in here where the color is, and not line artwork. So it was a complicated printing process back in the day where they did a lot of old-timey printer prep that we just take for granted now because we just use computers and Photoshop everything. But they had to do it old school back in the day. So
let's see here. I'll let you explain this one a second. I'm gonna go grab something real quick.
Okay. So this actually, don't leave me. So this is actually, if you look, this was the original. What Michael had intended to be the original cover. Now up here is a remark, which is a sketch that he did of Baron Karza up top, which was not part of the original concept, and it was hand colored as well after the fact. But this would have been the original artwork for the first issue if they had chosen it. And the editor made a decision not to. For whatever reason, they thought it wasn't dynamic enough, so they came up with this instead, which they said, well, it's a little more dynamic, and they're not just standing there. I mean, it's a great menacing pose, but it's kind of static, and for whatever reason, they said, well, would have been maybe good for another issue, but they came up with that, which I think is more dynamic, and it's iconic. Everyone knows that as the first.
But I really like that cover too, though.
Yeah,
it's too bad they couldn't have found another way to use it.
Yeah. So here's some of the covers, I believe. Yep. Some of the covers they used.
I think, what's the next? Oh, I had this one right here.
Oh yeah, that was a shot they used. I believe they did that for a magazine. Listen, you're the pro at this. You're the one that knows how to do this.
Right.
I've never done it. I don't have any excuses, but you do. All right. So we've got that, and that was done for a magazine, I believe. I don't know what, but it's in the notes. So we can. Show that, which leads us to the next thing. So these are some early convention sketches by Michael Golden that he did in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. You've got some original drawings, which if you went to a convention, old school comic book convention, they weren't quite the multimedia thing that they are today. Or used to be, right, before the pandemic, but
they're not anything right now.
No, but used to be able to go to a comic book convention, and the artist you could, if they had a commission list, and they do now, but they're considerably more expensive. But back in the day, you could get a nice convention sketch, like something like this for $10, $20, $30 tops, and now
totally worth
now
it
it's
now.
several hundred dollars for something like that. But I want to show you that, and I was going to show some sketches that I
Go
had.
ahead. You want to do this last page first? And
Yeah,
then
let's
go to
do that,
those?
and then we'll show some of that. What'd you pick? Oh, he's got his marionette.
Great character. You know what's funny is I'm a total brunette guy. I love brunette women,
Yeah.
but there's like 3 characters in comics. I just love their characters. It's Marionette, it's Captain Marvel, and
Black Widow?
Dazzler, who are the
Dazzler.
blondes.
Oh, okay. Yep.
You know, but you know, and just the characters are awesome.
Oh, let's show this back cover.
All right, go ahead.
So that's the corner symbol, the Marvel corner symbol that Michael drew for the corner of the books. I miss those in comics. Old school guys.
I love those. Yeah, they're nice. All right, so
I had some and I'll let you show this one. I got this from Michael.
How you doing, Louie?
Got this sketch from Michael personally in 2007. It's the first time I met him in person. Can we get a shot?
Now this is on paper, so it's gonna be really hard to see. I'm gonna get it up there as best I can.
It's in pencil, but it's really there's good. Oh yeah, there you go. That's Bug.
And if you guys don't know Bug, he is a hilarious character, and his rocket lance is awesome too.
Yeah, move it up a little bit, show. So yeah, he signed it to me personally with his little tick, Ken, and that's an original Michael Golden pencil sketch that I got in 2007, and I think I was such a fan, and I was a professional then, so they gave me the professional discount, which is still
hey Manny,
still not too cheap.
And what's great is we didn't end up getting any of my wife's chocolate chip cookies on your sketch.
Well, that's good because I was worried about that. So here's another one, and this one is
by Pat Broderick,
who drew the Micronauts for a good long time, and actually he did some work on the Devil's Due did a revival.
He also did a lot of Spider-Woman
and he did
covers.
some of those issues as well. Yeah.
Because some of those were my favorite when I did my top Spider-Woman covers.
So when I got this, and I got this at a show about two years ago, and my friend Greg Hyland, hey Greg, Greg's a creator of Lethargic Lad and Frog Crisis and
Frog Crisis,
and
nice.
And he also has been a Lego artist. He designed a lot of the Lego boxes and the instructions and the comics and the drawings that went with it and the design work.
And we had a lot of Lego.
So he's like, what'd you pay for that? That's lame. I personally like it, but he's like, I can do better. So he actually drew me a Lego Bug, which is actually pretty damn awesome.
That is awesome.
And it says, to Ken, I'm better than the other guy. So all right. I'm sorry. But it is pretty awesome.
Bring out the big guy.
And I got one more that I got from Michael in Toronto at Toronto Comic Con in 2012. And that's to Ken.
And that is Baron Karza.
And looking bad.
And he was nigh invincible almost in the book.
Looking menacing. Yeah, and he came back. He kept coming back to life. I think three times at least. Yeah. And then later in the next series. Which you haven't read yet.
No, that's next, the other 20-issue series.
Yes. So what else do we have? Do we have anything else to show? Do we have anything else to talk about?
I do. I wanted, since I have a commission from you here that you did for me. I was commissioning Ken for Wonder Woman. This is the cover he did, Linda Carter. But so my question to you is, I never get to talk to you about commissions because you're always busy.
I'm so busy.
So when someone like me comes up to you and I ask you for a Linda Carter commission, what's your process to making that cover?
Well,
how do you decide on the pose, the sketch? What's your artist take on it when someone commissions you for something like that?
If it's something that's a photorealistic likeness of someone, I will try to find a photo or something that is
so Google Images or something.
Google Images, and you sort of it's easy to copy an image because you just like measure with your pencil and you kind of you see the artist doing they're drawing a person and they doing this and you're like, why are they drawing? The old joke is they're painting their thumb, they turn it around and it's their thumb.
Right.
But it's easy to measure and to draw, and you kind of lightly work up the drawing. But if it's photorealistic, it's easy because you're just kind of being a computer and you're copying.
But if it were easy, we wouldn't have to commission guys like you to do it for us.
So that stuff's easy. But then what I find harder, it's funny because the harder drawings are stuff that are maybe simpler
right, Thorson?
in line. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're doing a simpler, like someone said, let's do a cartoony or like like a comic book looking Wonder Woman. Well, that would, you'd have to do a little more.
Did you bring any of
sketching.
your original sketches today?
I didn't.
Ooh, that might be a whole nother show.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he's got a lot of different approaches, and he's got some great homage covers he's done too.
I do a Simpsons.
Your Simpsons Batman homage is great.
I've done several.
Yeah, well, the type with the Joker and Batman's smaller. Which is the one where Batman's big and the Joker's small. Or Krusty, it's the one where Krusty's the Joker.
Yeah, that was a commission for somebody's Christmas present. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that I did. Yeah, but like I said, it's not hard to draw. It just takes practice.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and it's natural given talent.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Anyone can learn how to draw. It's just what I chose to do.
No,
I can't play the piano. I can't play the guitar. Other people are amazing, and I'm like, how do you do that?
So Manny here, Manny Abuelita, he's an artist himself, and he does great work.
Does he? Yeah.
I'll show you his YouTube and his some of his art sometime.
Thank you for that. Yes.
And but Ken knows a lot of people, and of course, in the last year we had Joe Sinnott. I hate to
be a name dropper. I'm sorry.
He doesn't. He's a ham. Anyway, he knows Joe Sinnott, and you can always get a good story out of Ken. So, Ken, I wanted you to share the story you told us the other day when you were driving Joe Sinnott in your car.
No, it was Jim Steranko.
I'm sorry, I had the wrong guy. Jim Steranko. I'm sorry.
I knew Joe Sinnott too, but no. Well, Jim Steranko would always be. So, oops, I'm out of picture. Let's stand back. So Jim Steranko.
There more if you need to.
Well, I just want the mic to hear me. But anyway, so Jim Steranko's the kind of guy, the kind of guest who he's larger than life, and he's a small man. He's short.
What, short as me or shorter?
He's probably short or shorter than you.
Yeah, because I'm only 5'6".
That's why he's such a big personality. But he, he'll be at a convention. I think the first time I met him, he was at Motor City Comic Con, and he was in a hotel lobby, and it was a DoubleTree lobby, and it was a bunch of chairs together, and everyone would sit down. He was in one of the chairs, and there were 3 other chairs, and people would sit down, and people would come around, and they would listen to him him pontificate on his life and adventures. So I met him a few times over the years, and I did a show. He was doing a show a few years ago, and it was his first Canadian show in 40 years.
Wow.
And I decided I wanted to see him. And they were doing an art exhibit the night before. He was giving a talk. It was a one-day show in Windsor, Ontario. And he did a presentation the night before and then the show. So I wanted to go, and I'm a semi-professional who's worked on some comics. So I actually called up the promoter, and I said, can I can I get a table? I want to go to this thing. Could I go to the, and so, yes. So that's why I did the shows, because I wanted to hang out with Jim Steranko. So he did the talk, and I was with my my lady friend, and he had his agent there. So he gave the talk, and he singled us out. And he's like, "You two are dressed up. You dressed up for me, didn't you?" Because he always dresses up. And so he gave his little talk. We're all hanging around, and they said, "Hey, can you guys give Jim and his agent a ride back to the hotel?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I can." And here's me thinking, I don't want to be the one that kills Jim Steranko on a horrible fiery car crash,
right?
So it was only a straight shot. It was about 1 kilometer or 2. We're in Canada, of course, kilometers.
Hey, what did Dada buy today?
How and it doing? Was so anyway, so it was December, early December, and so we go out to my car, and I'm scraping off the ice and Jim's like, "Do you want me to help?"
It's winter. It's Canada.
And he's like, "Do you want me to help?" I'm like, No, I got this. Don't worry. So I'm scraping off the ice, and the other 2 get in the back, and of course Jim's got to get shotgun. So he gets in, and it's a straight shot to the hotel. And it's like residential, and there's a couple of stop signs and stoplight. So we start off, and I'm driving. I'm nervous as hell because I don't want to be the one that kills Jim Steranko. And so my car is like, bing, bing, bing. And I'm like, and I know what this is. And I'm driving, and I'm not saying a word. I'm just driving. And I'm trying to avoid it. And we stop at a stop sign, and we continue. And there's my car again. Bing, bing, bing. And the other two in the back, they're like, what is that noise? And I'm like, that is my car asking Mr. Steranko to put on his seatbelt, and I am not going to ask him to do that. And he goes, you're damn right you're not.
And Jim was kind of a ladies' man too, right?
He was a ladies' man. He told my my female companion that he wondered if anyone had ever gotten lost in her bosom. So yeah, I mean,
he wanted to be the next.
Yeah. So anyway, so I was flattered. So we got Jim to the hotel without killing him, and without a crash. And
you let him die naturally of old age. It was nice of you.
He's still alive.
Oh, I'm still stuck on Joe Sinnott.
You're still stuck on Joe Sinnott.
I don't know why I'm stuck on Sinnott tonight. I'm stuck on Joe Sinnott.
Joe was a great man. We all love him, and we miss him very much.
Now, when was the last time you had met Joe Sinnott? Because I know that
I saw him last.
Because I know Chet's got the signed book from him to Rhinos too, in the comic shop.
Yeah, whenever it was the last convention season. Yeah, it was summer of not last year, but the year before.
Nice.
Yeah, 19. Yeah, 19. Summer of 19.
All before COVID.
I saw him
just before.
Yeah, I think
COVID,
I saw
right?
him. I saw him in the summer, and then I saw him in the fall at another show. So yeah.
Now, did you ever meet Stan?
I never met Stan.
Wow.
I never met him. He was a superstar by the time I wanted to.
No, but I thought if anyone would find a way to meet Stan, it would have been you.
The thing is, when Stan only did big shows, and when you do shows and you're behind the table as a guest and you're working to try to make money doing sketches and drawings and sell your books, you got to wait in long lines to meet people like Stan Lee. And even as a guest, you don't want to be a jerk and say, hey, I'm a guest. Can you put me in the front of the line? No, I don't want to be that guy.
Right. Makes sense.
So I never met Stan. I met some great celebrities, some great artists, but I didn't get to meet Stan. I regret it.
So what is the favorite commission that you ever got to do that you personally love doing? Someone had to commission you for something that you just absolutely loved working on. What's your favorite commission?
I don't know. I did Homer Simpson as Spawn.
Oh my gosh, that's got to be a Homer as Spawn.
Homer. It was a homage to Spawn #1's cover, and it was Homer Simpson as Homer instead of Spawn. But
all right, and what's a character that you haven't drawn that you would still like to draw?
Oh, like professionally?
Just in any capacity.
I would love to. She-Hulk.
She-Hulk? Oh, yeah. That's a good choice.
I mean, I've drawn like a few sketches.
Right.
But I would love to do. I've never worked for Marvel Comics. I did some unpublished work for DC, and I've done some stuff for Image and IDW, but I've never worked for Marvel. I got a polite no thank you once.
And you've done book covers as well, right?
Yeah, book covers and things, and yeah. I don't like to talk about myself.
Yeah. What was the hardest commission you ever had to do? You're like, oh, I shouldn't have took this. This is just a pain in my ass.
Oh, just doing portraits and likenesses of people that it's hard to do portraits of people you've not met.
Right.
So luckily with your guys that doing those logos, I got to see them at least on camera motion, moving around. And, I said, but you get somebody sends you a photo and they want like, can you draw my Uncle Joe can you draw this portrait of him? And they give you the picture, and the picture's always, they're wearing sunglasses. They have a hat on. It's a real small picture, and they want to, where's he going? He's Oh, he's okay. All right. He's
You know
showing.
where I'm going.
Oh God. Here we go.
Don't. You're an adult. You can make it 3 seconds without me.
I can't.
We have to hold his hand everywhere we take him. So this, I don't know if I can capture it on here. There we go. So this is me, my wife, and my son, Simpsonized by Ken. So that was what? That was last year.
Yeah, and he liked it so much he didn't even get it into a frame, but apparently
We got to buy a frame. And we put it up there, and literally it's been sitting up there. I've showed it a few times. I took pictures of it.
I understand.
And I do gotta buy one. But yeah, I love that. And he put my Devils jersey on there because they're the best hockey team. No argument from anybody, because you know. And all right, so we got that. So
I got a Toronto Maple Leafs mask.
oh, nice.
So it guarantees I'm not going to catch anything for 54 years.
Right. Oh, nice. Only hockey fans would get that joke.
Like there have been generations of fans that have never seen a Maple Leafs win a cup.
Right. No, the last cup they won was when was Bill Barocco was playing for him, and then he turned up missing, and they never found his body. That was way back before I was born.
Yeah, before any of us were born. So yeah,
and that's a crazy story in itself. He went fishing, and him and the cup got lost, and that's it. Yep. They never saw him again. All right, so besides the Strankle story, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you at a convention?
Man, you come up with some.
Cause I got you here to talk. You're going to talk.
You gotta give me a list of questions. I can't reveal these things.
You can. No one's going to know. It's only broadcast live across the world. So
a lot of dream. Conventions used to be wild.
Right.
You know, I think I went on an adventure with Mid-Ohio was a lot of adventures.
Well, I picture when conventions close it'd be much like when a bar closes. Everybody gets together and it's party time. Because I used to work at a bar, and there wasn't a night that we didn't close the bar that we weren't all at somebody's house.
Yeah, one time there was a promotional Hummer it had something like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or something on the side, and it was like this. And one of the voice actors was there, and he said, "Hey, let's take it out for a spin." So 13 or 14 of us got into this Hummer, and we were driving around downtown Columbus, Ohio. And they were like, putting their, rear ends out the windows and mooning people. And it was crazy. I wasn't involved with that. I was just riding along. But and then we got back to the hotel, and
hey, Warlord,
there was a lot of mooning and a lot of drinking and a lot of hanging around. And we went to we hung out in a boardroom, and there were ladies dancing on the table, and it was crazy. Yeah. Like this big boardroom, and like it was like crazy. People used to do a lot of crazy things back before CCTV,
right?
I mean, now
exactly,
you can't do a goddamn thing.
Everything's
anymore.
Recorded.
You can't get away with anything. When I used to work at McDonald's, I guess I can tell these stories now.
Right.
But back 20 years ago, 25 years ago, working at McDonald's, we used to, you're a manager at McDonald's. It's New Year's Eve. You take you go out with your buddies and you go drinking, and you come back to McDonald's, and you're, what's better after watching the ball, listening to the ball drop and having a New Year's Eve drink than to go to McDonald's and cook yourself breakfast.
Right.
At 2 a.m.
It's funny because one of my first jobs when I was young was McDonald's, and getting up early and being there, I know because we used to have parties every week, and we filled there was one summer, and we would have a party a week. We filled a whole closet, like a whole cloak closet from floor to ceiling. Just that closet alone was just empty Jack Daniel's bottles for that summer. Not to mention all the beers we drank. And where I used to live, it was me and 5 other guys, and everyone called it the penthouse. Yeah. So we all had our own rooms. It was two levels, and you wake up after the night of drinking, and we lived there, so we had beds. But you're walking through the house in the morning, and you're stepping over all the bodies that are sleeping all over your house to get to where you want to go.
We turned out okay, though.
Yeah, we did all right.
Yeah.
I got it out. I got it all out of the way when I was young. I'm old and mellow now.
No, I don't drink. I don't drink. I don't smoke.
Right.
It's like, well, I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't drink, smoke, swear, or indulge in sex. That was the
Right.
joke. And then you say, well, I don't smoke. Anyway.
See, you're so old you can't remember the joke.
Remember.
So anything else crazy that you'd like to bring up from
Nothing
conventions
at all,
or personal experience?
No, nothing at all.
I'm trying to
I miss
get you.
conventions. I miss conventions. We just got word that they some of the conventions, MegaCon and down in Florida.
That's what I was thinking too, DJ.
What were you thinking? What
A professional Hummer.
Yeah. I
was trying to keep it kid friendly.
Yes.
No.
But no, so we just found out that all of the early conventions for the first half of the year are scheduled for. It's going to be a busy August and September for conventions, but hopefully by then we'll be back to doing some shows.
Right, and you and I still got to go to Buffalo sometime and do some comic hopping shopping.
Comic hopping shopping.
Making it up as I go.
Yeah, some good stuff.
We talked about Well,
you're Mr. You're looking for the reads, so Queen City Books is great for cheap comics.
I have a series I started on my channel. It's Bargain Reads Done Dirt Cheap, bought dirt cheap. So
Rhinos Comics, you can get that Micronauts run in Rochester, and
I'm trying to get like Jason and them to order some books from chat. He's got so many of stuff they're looking for, and he ships everywhere. You contact Rhinos, you tell him what you want, he'll find it, he'll ship it to you. He won't kill you on the shipping. It's awesome.
Yeah, he'll kill you in your sleep.
Right, yeah. Good stuff. And I don't know, there's a lot of guys there, not me, that have stories.
A lot of stories. You put me on the spot. Maybe next time I'll have a story.
Oh no,
or two.
I'm looking for you to completely
I can't reveal.
Indenture yours. Yeah.
But no, I miss conventions. They're great. They were a good time. Hopefully we'll be back to conventions again sometime soon.
And then bring Dreamer with you so we can talk about Dreamer, your comic that you're doing right now.
So listen, I've got a lot of stuff going on. We've got 2-issue series. I just got to go ahead for the 3rd issue of Dreamer, which is a local project written by local guy Joe Janowitz, and and Frank Johnson's part of it too. And they commissioned me to do this artwork for this book, which is fantastic. It's about a kid who becomes he ends up in a coma after saving some other kids in a children's hospital, and he can enter the dreams of other disabled kids and kind of help them through their problems. The first issue deals with traumatic brain injury, and
it's got some trippy little scenes in it too.
It's got some trippy little scenes. It's all ages friendly. It's for younger readers.
I mean, just cool, like Doctor Strange, weird kind of stuff.
I try. Yeah, I'm no Steve Ditko, but I can try. But the second issue's it's a kid with autism, and he ends up in a Jack Kirby,
which I still got to buy from you too.
Oh, see, he doesn't frame my stuff. He doesn't buy my comics.
Look, it's enough for him that he gets to talk to me.
Wow. Yeah. But yeah, lots of stuff going on.
Yeah, and we're all of us out. We're always super busy doing something or the other.
Yeah,
I work 1 billion hours a week, and then I go over to Rhinos is our mental break from life. We all go to Rhinos. We're spending time with books, and
we live there.
Yes,
there's a cot in the back. We can
Now that we're old and we're not partying anymore, we're old and boring with books.
Comic books. That's life is comic books.
It's a good community.
And I love when somebody brings a kid in and we get somebody young, which we have a lot of young readers. It's anyone that says comic book stores are dead or comic reading, fandom and reading is dead.
No, it's thriving right now.
It is thriving. So many our comic shops locally are thriving. And
on a Saturday, you can walk into Chet's store. You could have 20 to 30 people in there sometimes all at once in that store, and it's packed.
Yeah. I mean, you have to wait because of social distancing rules. Now you have to wait sometimes to get in. It's so
Right.
busy, but it's a big store. So, um,
Well, look at this last week, for example, at New Comic Book Day, the whole Marvel shelf cleared
Yeah.
off, bought out,
Yeah.
except for what, two single copies of something. It was
Yeah.
it was insane.
it's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Comics are thriving and alive, and it's a great hobby. And there's a lot of speculators. There's a lot of speculating. There's a lot of people buying stuff that they shouldn't. It's like, do you really need 4 copies of that? But there's a lot of readers too, and there's a lot of fans. And I see it as an encouraging sign.
Okay, so on the flip side of that, because I know you, Ken is a man of many pet peeves. If you guys don't personally know him, what is your biggest comic pet peeve of somebody with comic books?
Somebody with comic books?
Someone that's going to buy a comic. What's their biggest pet peeve? Is it the guy who's only buying it to flip it because it's got a nice cover and he's never read the book, or is it something different?
Read the comic books that you buy, or look through them and enjoy them a little bit. Admire the artwork. Read a couple panels. You don't have to read every comic you buy, but you should read some of the comics you buy.
Yeah, you should enjoy them for what they are.
Yes.
Is all you're saying.
I mean, don't buy it as an investment. I don't like flippers. Flipping. Now, we all buy, once in a while, you get an extra book to trade with your friends, or to put in one of your great little boxes that you guys put together. That's not the same.
Right.
I'm talking about somebody that like, I have 10 copies of this Amazing Spider-Man 55 cover because I'm going to sell them all tomorrow for $20 each.
Right.
Which I understand, but I understand there's a demand, you have a supply, you can get them, but think about the people that just want to read it.
Right.
That's my pet peeve. I'm sorry if I ticked off somebody.
No, everyone's owed their own opinion. Rather it differentiates from someone else's.
What
or
makes
not.
you upset as I eat a cookie?
What makes me upset? The thing that upsets me most about in the comics is, like, all right, take me for example. What do I read? I'm a Marvel guy, right? And some independents.
Conan.
So, Conan and the Women
Red
of Marvel.
Sonja.
The Women of Marvel and a few independent books, usually independent horror titles, which I really like horror. But I don't dump on other companies. I don't like fanboyism where this is what I like. So if someone doesn't like what this is, everything else sucks. Everything else doesn't suck. If it doesn't fit your taste, it doesn't make it bad. It just makes it not for you. Not for you doesn't make something bad. It's like I don't eat seafood. It doesn't make seafood bad. I just don't like it, no matter what. And I've tried everything. If Santina has seafood, I will try it if I've never tried it.
No, seafood's bad.
Yeah, but no. But you know what I mean? So, and to me, comics are like that. Like I did an unboxing earlier. I got a Spawn book. I threw it aside. I don't like Spawn. But that doesn't, because I don't like Spawn, though, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with Spawn.
Listen,
Jason likes Spawn, but Jason also likes Batman, so he's got issues. We'll talk about that another time.
Everyone likes Batman.
Yeah, I know. I'm the only guy that does it. And I don't hate Batman. He's just
Batman.
not for me. Although Michael Keaton's the best Batman, followed by Ben Affleck. But I don't like people assume I hate DC because I don't collect DC books, and I don't hate DC at all. It's just there's not a lot of their characters that I connect with, and not connecting with a character doesn't make that character bad. It just means you personally don't connect with that character.
And the reason I don't like a lot of DC comics is it's too many crossovers, multi-universe crossovers that I don't understand.
Too convoluted.
Yeah, I mean, there's a house style that I'm not particularly fond of. A lot of Marvel comics, this one looks different than this one, and this one looks different than this one. But there was a time there, and DC's getting better at this, but there was a time there where every DC comic looked the same.
Oh.
And it's like,
so you either like this one style or you don't.
Too many lines, and it was a house style, but it wasn't for me. But I love some DC comics. I'm digging some stuff.
That Strange Adventures that you recommended to me is great.
Strange Adventures is one of the best comics out there. not as good as Thor and some of the Marvel books.
No,
But
that Thor 11 was pretty good. Have you read it yet?
I read it. That last page is a banger.
It is.
Whoa.
Yeah, if you guys haven't read Thor 11
Oh,
yet,
that
wait to
last
get to the
page,
best one.
man.
Uh-oh. Jason's picking on me because I picked on Batman. I bought a Conan book today, Gary. When was the last time you bought Batman or Spawn? Actually, I bought Spawn the other last month, Jason. I bought one to support the Chadwick Boseman. So, haha. And Batman. Yeah, I don't know when the last time was I bought a Batman book. So you got me on that one.
I bought one this week. I bought the next Batman, #1.
See, there's Manny. Manny, send me your spots, Gary. You know, one day I'll put you and A-OK together, Manny. I got to get one out to I got one built right now for Thorson at Varangian Vigilante. I got to send his out. There's a guy, he's got some cool books. And I wish you could see Manny's art sometime. Manny's art is amazing too. And I think Manny, where is it? You're from the Philippines, Manny, was it? Or I can't remember. I'm old and I'm having a blank. Mandy will tell me in a second, but his art's incredible too. And actually, just like a month ago, his house had a flood. He had to move all his comics up to the next level. He saved them all though, him and his brother. But so we're talking about our pet peeves. The thing I like best about the comics is the community.
Oh, I love it.
So Jason and I talk about this all the time, and we can include DJ Links into this, Freaky Louie into this, Jimmy from Small Town Collectibles. If you would have told me a year ago that I was going to start a YouTube channel, talk about comics on a weekly basis, and meet a bunch of people I'd end up calling my friends, I would have said you're crazy. Because I used to be sociable when I'm young. Now I'm older and I just want to be at home doing nothing. I work and I want to be at home. Right.
And you won't shut up.
Yeah. Yes. Once I get talking, I do not shut up. That is true. I can't even fight Ken on that one.
Man.
But Ken has a similar issue.
Yeah, I do.
And then it just comes down to which one of us is going to get the most words in.
I went on a 10-minute rant about the Wonder Woman movie yesterday,
Which
I liked.
I was to say I liked it, and
I didn't love it. I liked it. It was okay.
You got to watch our review of it.
That first hour was not bad, and I'm like, wow, this isn't as bad as people thought. People said, I'm like, oh, this isn't bad at all. And then I got to the second hour and started on that third hour, and wow.
So what
long?
What banged it for you?
Long.
Just the length of it banged it for you?
Oh my God, it's so long. It's long. Why? And the cheetah thing is just weird.
It's because
listen, it's a fantasy movie. I didn't have a problem. People are like, just generally like, oh, it's a World War pilot. How come he fly a jet plane in the 80s? It's like
comic book logic.
It's first of all, he's a fantasy character that's brought back from the dead.
Right.
Second of all, and she makes the thing invisible with magic.
Right.
And you're worried about like, how does he know how to fly a plane? Because he's a pilot. It's like general things.
The part,
stupid things. It's like, oh, it's an 80s movie. It doesn't look like the 80s. I'm sorry, I grew up in the 80s. It looks totally like the 80s. It looks just like the 80s. And they're like, oh, there's not.
Let me know how to get a commission done from Ken. You have his email. You just got to email. You can mail me the book, Jason, and I'll get it to Ken. I see Ken like 4 or 5 times a week.
He could email me directly.
He can. Okay, that's what I was saying.
So then, okay, going on, and I'll make this quick, but the Wonder Woman movie, they're like, oh, there's not enough 80s music. It's like, wow, if you're setting a movie in the 80s, have the soundtrack as the 80s. I heard the Cars in the background. I heard the Duran Duran in the background. Here's the thing. We're so, it's like, it doesn't have to be on the soundtrack itself, like Guardians of the Galaxy,
right? Used
in a fight scene as the music. It has an orchestral score. If this movie had been made in the 80s, no one would have said that. Oh, there's no 80s music in it.
Right.
Yeah, there's totally 80s music in it. And it totally looks like the 80s. And it doesn't matter that Steve Trevor can fly a plane when he's a magical, brought back to life person.
Now,
it's like, it's dumb. These are dumb things to nitpick. The thing that I had problem with
got you, Jason.
It's too long. What?
Oh, so
What?
he's asking how people can get a commission from you. So what you
So
can
get
do
a
is
hold of
contact
Gary.
me on Instagram,
Yes.
and I'll send you Ken's information.
Or find me on Facebook. I don't have Instagram yet. I should.
No, but yeah,
But I don't.
most
I
of
don't.
these
I'm
people
not
know
social.
me.
I'm antisocial. I don't like being social.
Right. If you guys want a commission from Ken, contact me on Instagram. I will send you his artist information, his contact info for you. And it's super easy. Ken does great work, so you won't be disappointed. And speaking of Steve Trevor, though, the only thing I brought up in our interview, because we did The Usual Suspects, which is me, Jimmy, and Jason when we were together. We did our Wonder Woman 84 review. My only problem with the whole thing is what happened to the guy whose body he took over? They didn't tell me where he went. I'm like, what limbo is he in? He's got to be somewhere.
That poor,
that
poor guy.
And then at the end, when he see Diana, hey, you look familiar. Did our bodies do something together? Because I think I'd remember that.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I actually really enjoyed the movie because it was about Diane's journey of getting past her past. Like
and another thing, like,
miss that.
Why isn't she in it as Wonder Woman enough? It's Diana. Well, it's 1984. She wasn't exactly out in the open as Wonder Woman. She was kind of doing her crime fighting in secret. So, it's like we're so spoiled.
Well, that's the thing.
I thought there
what
was
we have these days.
Listen,
we have a spoil of riches.
Yes, I don't think necessarily the whole Cairo subplot and the whole transformation of the other antagonist at the end. I thought that was silly. There were some things that I didn't like about it. There's a lot I didn't like about it, but the things that everyone criticized, I'm like, it's not really.
It didn't really bother me either.
Not at all.
I've already watched the movie twice. I enjoyed it.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's all right.
It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
I really like the chemistry of Gal Gadot and Chris Pine. I think those two are great together on screen.
Yeah. Thanks for pronouncing her name right. No one pronounced her name right.
Her name's not, it's 5 letters.
Yeah, but Gal Gadot. No, it's Gal Gadot. So.
Yeah, it's Gal. Well, she says it, so it's not hard to know how to pronounce it. She says it all the time.
I don't know.
And some of the stuff with her and Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah. But yeah, we've got on for an hour and 15.
Oh my God, we're too boring.
Right. Yeah. So all of you that have stuck around,
thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to have Ken back on, but I want Ken to bring his own personal sketchbook with him, some of his art pieces. And for those of you who don't know, Ken has an extensive collection. Ken, how many long boxes you got at your house? Just general guess.
80, 90.
80, 90, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're all dollar bin books, nothing of value. No, just kidding. No.
Yes, they are. They are. And you don't know where I live either.
Right.
No, they're not they're at someone else's house. They're at a family member's house. I can't.
Yeah, Brightburn's great, Jason. That's why I suggested we review it. So you and I are going to be loving Brightburn, and Jimmy's the one who didn't like it as much because I think it was too much on the horror side for Jimmy. That's our next review we got coming up, guys. The Usual Suspects are going to be reviewing Brightburn. The What If Superman was a little asshole and went bad. And you never saw it?
No.
Really good. It's a horror take on Superman, basically. Okay. It's a great movie. It's pretty graphic in some scenes, but it's good. And it's a good story. Elizabeth Banks, the guy who plays the dad, is amazing. And the little kid who plays the bad Superman figure, he's great. Like, he plays evil, then he plays innocent, and then he plays in between. That little kid had great range. He really sold the role.
Is it a movie or a TV show?
It's a movie. You gotta spend a whole hour and a half on it. It's not too long, Ken. It's not Wonder Woman long. Okay, you'll do it. You can make
nothing else is Wonder Woman long. Okay, unless it's maybe Lord of the Rings movie or yeah.
Shoot, at this point, it's easy to ask how many are on your CLZ app?
I don't have a CLZ app because I do not want people knowing.
Unless
I don't want my personal collection on the cloud.
Super Jesse, did you like it? Did you like Brightburn? Well, you already know. Ken also did Super Jesse's logo as well. We always forget to mention that you did Super Jesse's as well.
Super Jesse, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I do a lot of logos.
You do. We're gonna make you the YouTube logo guy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but no, Brightburn was great. Perfect. She liked it. Oh, I figured if Jason liked it, you'd probably like it too. She's a big Walking Dead fan, and
I'm watching Handmaid's Tale right now.
I watched the first season.
Which pretty much started how Washington looked last night. So
right.
I'm taking a break for a few days because it's hitting kind of
Too heavy.
Too close to home because that's life.
It's not the lightest show to watch.
No, but that looks like real life now. So
yeah.
It's not a stretch.
And it gets worse later in the season with some of the stuff they do.
Well, thanks for sharing.
No problem. All right, so Ken, did you want to come back with some of your high dollar books to show and talk?
Yes, no, yes,
Excellent.
yes, yeah.
And some of your personal art.
I don't want to. I'll bring some art. I don't want to show off my books because. Okay, what's your favorite book that you own?
It's obviously Conan 1.
I got one of those.
I know you got one of everything. That's why it's fun to have you show your stuff.
I'll tell you about my Hulk 181.
Look, you could bring 10 good books to show and tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe some more cool toys you might have.
Oh, I got all sorts of toys.
Bring toys too. We got a whole bunch of people. DJ Lynx collects hot figures. He's big into those. He's got some great hot figures, and he just did a great job.
Hot figures?
You don't know what hot toys are?
What's a hot toy?
Wow.
What's a hot toy?
A hot toy is. Oh, you know what they are. You just,
no, I don't.
You really don't know what a hot toy is?
No. You're talking to the guy that has 3 pops.
Okay, a hot toy is high-end collectible action figures. They cost anywhere from I think $250 to they could cost up to $600, $700. And these are things where the sculpted face looks like the actual person. They're just absolutely amazing. They send you accessories like extra hands for different poses, all that. So it's a whole thing. People get them, take them out, and they go in glass cases.
Yeah,
they're that high-end kind of a toy.
I don't have any money.
Yeah, check out a couple of DJ Link's video. He has them all in his background. They look amazing.
I have to save my money to buy old comic books.
Right? Oh, come on. You have all the old comic books right now.
I don't. I really don't.
And there's Jason. We're all big kids, and kids love toys.
I may or may not have ordered the reissue of the Evel Knievel Stunt Cycle. And that's going to be coming any day now. It's
You're giving me flashbacks to when I was a kid.
I destroyed it as a kid. It was one of my favorite toys, and I have it coming. So
nice.
it's in the mail.
Ooh,
it's a reissue. It's like $40. Buy one. Look it up on the internet. It's great.
What were the little robot figures you were showing me that you got like 2 months ago? Remember you had there were like 6 of them in a case or something.
Well, those were Microman.
Microman, okay.
Which fits in with the Micronauts, yeah. Yeah, they were.
And those were cool.
Yeah, but those are the original Microman from Takara, I believe you say it. But they were 70s toys, and they did some reissues in the 90s. Up to 2000, I believe. I still think they make Micronauts or Microman toys, but
I just had an idea for a great commission that Jason should hit you up for.
Yeah, sure. Give him
now,
ideas.
Super Jesse. What if Ken drew you as a Michonne type character in The Walking Dead, and you were leading a zombie Jason by a chain?
Wow.
How cool would that be, though?
Okay, now I'm drawing bondage covers. Okay.
It's nothing Jason hasn't been through before. No, that would be great though. Just weird stuff pops in my head. No, but that's great. I know we got to wrap this up, guys. See, look, that would be sweet. Because I'm full of good ideas, Jesse. You just got to ask me. I will get Jason into any predicament you want me to get him in.
He's full of great ideas
for other people. not so much for me. No, I want to thank Ken for coming on. I had a blast doing this. I hope you had fun.
Yeah.
And this is actually the first time we haven't had company in our house in forever because of COVID. Ken and I work together all the time. We see each other all the time. I know, right?
I'm kidding.
I had to beat those bats out of here before you got here. But It was a lot of fun. I would love to have you back anytime you want to talk about anything, any subject.
Anytime.
And I've been fortunate enough for you to share some of your artwork with me. Would love for you to bring your pad and your art and show some of that.
Yeah,
and,
I can do that. We can have
and that would just be great.
I'm a little bashful, so
He's not, once he gets to know you, he's not bashful. Once he gets comfortable here, he'll be asking to come on all the time and talk to you guys.
Thank you.
No, but it's fun. I mean, and that's another thing. I mean, like with Jason and them, like you and I didn't really know each other. I would say not even a year ago we didn't know each other. It was kind of more of a casual. It wasn't until Chet moved his store to a bigger location next door that we actually all started to get to know each other.
You could be like Short Round because you're short and say,
right.
You're my best friend.
Right. You call him Dr. Jones. I love that movie.
You're my best friend.
Oh, that movie's so. That's my favorite Indiana Jones movie, and most people hate it.
I met him in person. He's great. He looks.
Ernie Reyes Jr. Right?
What's
no, is that him?
Kiwan.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the other guy.
I'm
thinking of Goonies guy. I think.
No, he's also.
All right? Yeah.
He's also.
I'm mixed up with someone.
Data.
Yeah. And now he's great in that
Goonies. But no, I met him about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and he was fantastic. Hamilton Comic Con, and he looks the same. He sounds the same. I mean, he was great, and I had him sign my poster. And he actually said, "He's like, this is an original Temple of Doom poster." He's like, this very same poster was given to him that I had him sign. The same version poster was given to him by Steven Spielberg.
Wow.
So he signed my book or signed my poster, and it's up on my wall.
And that's when Steve was actually married to Kim. What's her name?
He still is.
Are they still married?
Oh, yeah,
I'm just used to all these people getting divorced now.
No, they're married and happily married. And I met Marion.
Oh yeah.
And she signed my Raiders poster.
Wow.
Yeah. So big fan.
And it was great seeing her again. That was one of the only good things about that last one.
She was delightful in person. We could talk for hours. We should have people submit questions about crap for us to talk about.
Oh, we can. I can do that easy.
What would you like to talk about? Talk about this, and this.
Oh wait, we missed something. Oh wait, did you see that last with the Jason Goblin?
I don't know.
Jason Goblin. I think he missed. I don't know what a Groblin is.
Jason Goblin or Groblin?
It says Groblin. It's got to be a DC thing.
Or the Goblin.
Right?
I don't know.
Oh, nothing will live up to my original Voltron Force. Oh, you have those toys, Louis? Nice. Yeah, Short Round was great. And I love the part with around the campfire when they're playing poker, and she's running into all the snakes and the wildlife, and they're cheating, and it always stuck in my. Oh no, Shishampai! Oh no, Shishampai! When they're yelling at each other, just great. And then they're instantly best friends again when she swears at him. Call him Dr. Jones.
It's great.
Short Round was great, and especially and when who didn't just like have their heart jump to the screen when or like when Indy was possessed for a second and he won Indy back with his love, it's just.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I mean, that's just, and that's why that movie's so good, man. The chemistry between those two is awesome.
They're all good. All three Indiana Jones movies.
They are all three. But number two is my favorite.
John Rhys Davies was probably one of the nicest men I've ever met.
He's one of my favorite actors, and I loved him on Sliders too.
Oh, he was great.
Sliders is one of my
it was great
favorite TV shows.
I told him about it when I met him. I had him sign a picture, and he always had a story for He always has a story for everyone that has.
He seems like a story guy.
So personable, and he'd have a story for everyone. And I told him that I tried dates. Well, here's my story. I tried dates because of the date scene where he grabs the one that Indy's going to pop in his mouth.
They killed the monkey.
They killed the monkey. He's like, bad dates. And I told him, I said, I tried dates because of you. And he told me about one one young man he saw once, and he asked him advice and about a girl he was dating, and he's like, "Bad dates? We've all
Hey,
had
Dragon.
them."
Right?
So anyway, I don't know.
Well, he looks like a guy of giant mirth.
He is, and hopefully he's in the next one.
I was
The fourth Indiana Jones
Right.
movie.
and I was well no, didn't they have his character still alive in the last one?
Yeah. He turned down a cameo because they didn't want to give him a big part.
Okay, because I know they showed like the one guy who died, the professor above
No, that
Andy.
was,
like that poor guy had
That was,
passed away, so they
Denholm
put him in a
Elliott,
picture,
yes.
which was a nice little touch that they did for him.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah. So yeah, we could talk forever. So we're gonna.
Right. Yeah. We'll leave it here, guys, because Ken and I will do this
I'm
till
boring
we fall
myself.
asleep, right. Ken, thank you for coming on. Everyone who's been in and out, thank you for watching us, guys. And yes, the raft, best Indiana Jones is in the raft. It's awesome. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you bringing all the stuff over, spending the time, and helping provide content for my channel, because this is
Yes.
I like this kind of content where I don't, a lot of it's just me talking about what I have, and I
We
really
don't want to hear just you.
I don't want to hear just me.
I
I'd
don't
rather
wanna
have
hear
the
just
back
me
and
either,
forth.
So it's nice to talk to someone.
And that's why I like doing the things with the usual suspects, when it's three of us talking to each
I'm
other.
at the
It's fun.
comic shop. I'll like follow people around and rant about stuff, and this is I have it's self-contained. You can at least sign off, and you don't have to listen if we're.
We have to lead them away from people with treats. But no, that was it. So, guys, we're gonna say goodbye, and until next time, guys, keep it casual.